Bears. Because we look at the NFC North, DraftKings Sportsbook says the Bears are the third best team in the division. They have the Lions, who didn't make the playoffs last year, as the slight favorites over the Packers. The Bears, who won the division last year for the first time since 2018, have the third best odds to win the division since 2026. So I wanted to start with Lewis. Lewis, the Bears, the overwhelming majority of the offseason talent acquisition period has come and gone, meaning free agency and the draft. There'll still be some moves here and there. But bottom line, are the Bears in position, in your mind, to win that division again?
Yeah, I think they are. Look, number one, first and foremost, this isn't even about talent acquisition. It's the fact that Caleb Williams gets the benefit from the fact that he has everything in place once again in terms of coaching staff. Same voices in his head, same people teaching the same things this offseason, where now he can really dig into the offense as far as how to really take his game to another level. Weapon-wise, they're loaded. They're as good as really any team in the NFL. When you think about the backs that they have, the offensive line that they have, bringing Xavier Thomas in there along with Luther Burden and guys like Roma Dunze, that's as good as you can get. Colston Loveland, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. This team is stocked. It's stacked as far as the offensive side of the football.
Kmart, Chicago.
Listen, I cover them in the playoffs. I'm actually surprised that they would be third favorite.
I don't get where that comes from.
That's the only thing I don't.
Hardest schedule in the league. Hardest one.
Hey, Mike, I get it. I get that.
Well,
I get that. I understand. But even so, because I'm looking at the rest of the division, I understand. If you said Packers, you thought the Packers would win the division. Okay, the Lions. That's the team to me where, despite the amount of weapons that they have, the amount of times that they've been inching closer to the playoffs, made the playoffs, they don't seem to get it done. So, and they've made so many changes with their coaching staff. So I just look at the Bears and I just think that they have a better team.
I feel there are two lanes of thought with the Bears. They're a prime candidate for regression because you won't force that many turnovers again.
Michael Wilbon just said on Get Up that the Chicago Bears will win only 6 games this year. 6 games. After a season where they won the division for the first time since 2018. After they had 11 wins. After they made the playoffs. And now Wilbon is projecting them to win 6 games? I need to stop you right there, Mike. Because with all due respect to your decades of covering the NFL, you are completely wrong on this one. And I am going to tell you exactly why. Let me break this down for you because nobody else will. The first 2 minutes of this video show the Get Up crew discussing the NFC North. DraftKings Sportsbook has the Bears as the third best team in the division behind the Lions and the Packers. And Wilbon seems to agree with that assessment. He said the Bears could be a better team and not have as good of a record. He pointed to the hardest schedule in the league. He pointed to the fact that they did not address the pass rush in the draft. And he is worried that the defense is going to hold them back. But here is what Wilbon is completely missing. The Bears' offense is going to be elite. And when you have an elite offense, you win more than 6 games. Period. Lewis, the other analyst on the show, made the case for the Bears. He said, first and foremost, this isn't even about talent acquisition. It's the fact that Caleb Williams gets to benefit from the fact that he has everything in place once again in terms of coaching staff. Same voices in his head, same people teaching the same things this offseason, where now he can really dig into the offense and take his game to another level. And he is absolutely right. Continuity is huge in the NFL. Caleb Williams is going into his second year in Ben Johnson's offense. He is not learning a new system. He is not building chemistry with new receivers. He is refining. He is growing. He is taking that next step. And when a quarterback of his talent takes that next step, the entire offense elevates. Lewis also pointed out that the Bears are loaded on offense. He said, weapon-wise, they're loaded. They're as good as any team in the NFL when you think about the backs that they have, the offensive line that they have, bringing Xavier Thomas in there along with Luther Burden and guys like Roma Dunze. Colston Loveland. Are you kidding me? This team is stocked. It's stacked as far as the offensive side of football is concerned. And he is right. Caleb Williams has a top 5 offensive line. He has a top 5 running back room. He has one of the deepest wide receiver core in the league. He has a tight end who can stretch the seam. He has everything a young quarterback could possibly need to succeed. And he is only going to get better. Wilbon's counter-argument was the schedule. He said the Bears have the hardest schedule in the league. And that is true. They play the NFC West and the AFC North. They play the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. They play the Buffalo Bills. They play the San Francisco 49ers. It is a brutal schedule. But here is the thing. The Bears beat good teams last year. They beat the Lions. They beat the Packers. They beat the Vikings. They went on the road and won playoff games. This is not a team that is scared of tough opponents. This is a team that rises to the challenge. And with another year of development for Caleb Williams, they are going to be even better against good teams. Wilbon also criticized the Bears for not addressing the pass rush in the draft. He said they were 21st in pressure last year. They did not help that at all. And he is right about that. The Bears did not draft a pass rusher in the first 2 rounds. They are relying on Montez Sweat and DeMarcus Walker and a bunch of young guys to generate pressure. That is a concern. That is a legitimate concern. But here is the thing. The Bears' defense was still top 10 in points allowed last year. They were top 10 in turnovers forced. They were a legitimate defense even without elite pass rush. And they added Dylan Thiemann at safety. They added Malik Muhammad at cornerback. They brought back key pieces. The defense is not going to fall off a cliff. It might not be as good as last year, but it does not need to be. Because the offense is going to be so much better. Kimberly Martin made a great point. She said, Caleb is going to have stability for the first time since high school. And that is the key. Caleb Williams has been through coaching changes. He has been through system changes. He has never had the same offensive coordinator for 2 consecutive years since he was in high school. Now he does. And that stability is going to unlock a version of Caleb Williams that we have not seen yet. He is going to be more comfortable. He is going to be more decisive. He is going to be more aggressive. He is going to be a superstar. And when you have a superstar quarterback, you win games. Even with a tough schedule. Even with a mediocre pass rush. Even with all the question marks on defense. The Bears won 11 games last year. They made the playoffs. They won a playoff game. And now they are bringing back almost the entire team. They are adding more weapons. They are giving Caleb another year in the same system. And Michael Wilbon thinks they are going to win 6 games? 6 wins would be a 5-win regression. That would be one of the biggest drops in NFL history for a playoff team that did not lose its quarterback or its head coach. That is not going to happen. Let me look at the schedule. The Bears play the Vikings twice. They play the Lions twice. They play the Packers twice. Those are 6 division games. The Bears won 4 of those 6 last year. They can win 4 again this year. They play the Panthers. That is a win. They play the Saints. That is a win. They play the Falcons. That is a win. They play the Cardinals. That is a win. They play the Giants. That is a win. They play the Commanders. That is a win. That is already 10 wins right there. Even if Hay lose to the Chiefs, the Bills, the 49ers, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Steelers, that is still 10 wins. And they are not losing all of those games. They are going to steal 1 or 2. This is an 11 or 12 win team. Not a 6-win team. Wilbon said the Bears could be a better team and not have as good of a record. And that is possible. They could win 10 games instead of 11. They could be a better team and still miss the playoffs because the NFC North is so tough. But 6 wins? No. That is not happening. That is a prediction based on fear, not on facts. Lewis said it best. He said, I just look at the Bears and I just think that they have a better team. And he is right. The Bears have a better team than the Lions. They have a better team than the Packers. They have the best roster in the NFC North. And they have the best quarterback in the NFC North. And that is going to show up on the field. The other analyst, Kimberly Martin, said she is in 2 lanes of thought. One lane says the Bears are primed for regression because they won't force that many turnovers again and the schedule is hard. The other lane says Caleb Williams with another year in Ben Johnson's offense is going to take that next step and they are primed for a Super Bowl run. And she said she is in both lanes. All of it is true. And that is the correct take. There are reasons to be worried about the Bears. The pass rush is a concern. The schedule is brutal. The division is tough. But there are also reasons to be excited. Caleb Williams is a superstar in the making. The offense is loaded. The coaching staff is stable. The defense is still good. And when you put it all together, you get a team that wins 10 or 11 games. not 6. Wilbon also mentioned that the Bears did not address the pass rush in the draft. He said, Ben Johnson has said, 1, we are going to coach them better, and there are people coming back from injuries, Shamar Turner, that we believe will help this team. I hear him. I want him to be right. But I'm looking at a 4.28 receiver. I know when you're an offensive coach like Ben Johnson, you want that ace in your deck. I get it. But at the expense of if they can't put Sam Darnold on the ground on a Sunday in January because they've got a receiver who can only impact the game 2 or 3 times a game, maybe 8 times a year, we are going to be angry. And that is a fair point. The Bears drafted Xavier Thomas, a 4.28 receiver, instead of a pass rusher. That is a gamble. But it is a gamble I am willing to take. Because Xavier Thomas is not just a deep threat. He is a game changer. He is a guy who can take the top off the defense. He is a guy who can score from anywhere on the field. He is a guy who forces defenses to respect the deep ball, which opens up everything underneath for Caleb Williams and the rest of the offense. And when your offense is scoring 30 points a game, your defense does not need to be elite. It just needs to be good enough. And the Bears' defense is go. OD enough. So here is my prediction. The Bears win 11 games again. They win the NFC North again. They make the playoffs again. And they win at least one playoff game again. And Michael Wilbon is going to have to come back on Get Up and admit that he was wrong about the 6 wins. Subscribe to the channel if you want real NFL analysis. Not the old school skepticism. Not the schedule is too hard excuses. Just the truth about a young quarterback and a loaded offense that is ready to take over the NFC North. And comment below. Do the Bears win 6 games or 11? And is Caleb Williams a top 5 quarterback in the NFC next year? I read every single comment. Now let me know your thoughts and get ready for the season.